Welcome back. We're here for another episode of Barn Songs. We got Michael Roberts of Michael and the Pentecost here in his own barn.
In my own barn.
On the other side of the camera for once. Or twice, I guess this would be twice.
For twice.
For twice.
Yeah, for the second time. And as I said, it's slightly unnerving.
This is going to be episode 20.
Yeah, this is the 20th
episode of Barn Songs.
Right? Shouldn't we, rain confetti down, or...
No special effects, man.
Ticker tape.
We have one special
parade.
effect.
We do. We have one special effect, and if you've been on here, you know what it is.
You'll have to wait for it.
And it's not the liquor.
How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. I've been off from work for a little while here, and the weather's nice.
It's getting nice, yes. It's not hot in the barn this time. It is perfect, actually. It feels pretty nice.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. It feels like a good night for a fire.
Yeah,
to be honest. But I don't have any wood. So, unless we hack up the barn.
Yeah, which is not gonna happen.
No. But yeah, no, it's things have been decent. We're in a post-election world.
Yes.
I
Are
feel
they
like
still counting? I imagine someone's still counting.
I mean, yeah, and that's always.
I mean, it's gonna keep going on, right? I mean, there's always all that post-election stuff that.
Yeah. It's and they always do keep counting. It's just a matter of which states and why.
Yeah.
But I feel like a weight's been lifted from my shoulders. I'm very ready to not think about politics.
Yes.
On a daily basis.
For sure. Yeah.
I'd like to. I mean, I listen to NPR every morning, but I'd like to kind of go back to. I'll check in on the weekend, and we'll see where things are at. You know.
For sure. Dude.
Worry about local news rather than.
Yeah.
What did we get in today?
Yeah. It gets cumbersome after a certain period of time. If you're just hearing this message certified by this person, or and it's just all of these different people trying to cut each other down in different ways, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
After a certain period of time.
It's if you're not paying attention to the sources,
for sure.
You're not watching the right programs or listening to the right programs or reading the right publications.
Sure.
It can be hard to discern fact from fiction.
Totally.
Which is a shame.
Yeah.
That it's a shame that there's people in the world that have such a low level of ethics, personal ethics, that they would be willing to profit off of just, steering people so astray. But
I guess that's kind of what comes with the
there's a bull on every corner, right?
Yeah.
Some people see the world in two, binary.
Yeah.
There's predators and there's prey.
Yeah.
You're either taking or you're being taken. That's a shame.
Yeah. Agreed. Sure.
So hopefully we can move a little beyond that.
Yeah.
For at least a little while. Little victories, as Rush said.
Totally.
I think that's what the song was called.
I am not even sure. I can't back it up.
Little victory. I think it was a Rush song. Yeah.
I believe you.
Something victory.
So what are you planning to play for us today?
I'm gonna do a Skynyrd tune.
All right.
I'm gonna do Freebird.
That's awesome. I'm not trying to make it into a joke. I think it's really good. It's a great song. So I'm stoked to hear it.
It is. It's a good song, man. And I almost feel like the solo and the whole outro or stanza, I don't even know if that's correct. I'm using that correct.
Yeah.
But overshadows the fact that it's a really sweet song.
Sure. Agreed,
Heartfelt. Good little jam.
Yeah.
Song.
I wonder if other people out there who don't really play music and haven't been on stage and had someone, holler from the crowd, play Freebird, you're like, maybe that's just a musician's inside joke because, I don't know, it's just maybe not so many people have dealt with it. I've definitely heard it throughout my entire musical career.
I think everybody's heard it, right?
Yeah.
Anybody that's been to more than, one show, I would assume, has heard it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's always that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you're literally going to play Freebird, so that's awesome. I'm stoked.
Yeah, I am.
Everybody online will be stoked as well.
I'm literally going to sit here, bourbon, harmonica, guitar. I'm going to play Freebird.
Yes. Alright, so what's up with this guitar, man? Thing looks old.
Yeah, so this was my grandpa's. I've been told it's a 39, Gibson L00. He bought it in South Jersey in a music shop, I think in 1964, he told me.
Okay.
He gave it to me when I was 17. I kind of dabbled with guitar. A buddy of mine had let me borrow an Area Pro Strat.
Okay.
Area Pro 2 Strat. And he just gave me this. He said, you need a guitar, here's a guitar. I don't know if he realized, the heaviness that comes with the name Gibson.
Oh, sure.
The weight of that brand.
Yeah.
Or the fact that it was as old as it is. Maybe he realized and just wanted to pass it on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got it. Literally the very first complete song I ever wrote, I wrote on this guitar. I woke up like insomnia in high school.
Yeah.
And I wrote a song.
That's really cool.
And
has it been a songwriting companion for you?
have I written
at least
a
in
lot?
the earlier days?
Yeah, probably a lot of the early stuff that I wrote. I've gotten to the habit where I pretty much only write on an acoustic.
Yeah.
Unless we happen to be rehearsing and I'm holding an electric.
Sure.
Generally, anything I write is going to be on an acoustic guitar.
Sure.
Yeah, I would imagine most of my earliest stuff was probably written on this guitar.
Yeah.
And I had recordings of it too.
Oh yeah.
I had a little bedroom studio I had set up, and I was recording myself as early as like junior or senior year, but I don't think I have any of those recordings, unfortunately.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm sure they were terrible.
We could release the Garage Days for you during Collective.
Yeah. So, it's a cool guitar. I've had it 17, 18 years now, and
it's really cool.
I don't plan on sending it anywhere.
It's definitely one of those things you probably want to keep, in a safe place. And yeah, like we were talking about, if anything should happen, house catches on fire, you want to make sure your family's protected, and then you grab that thing and get out of the house.
Yeah, this is the first thing I grab after the kid and the wife.
Yes.
This is the other item. Because it's irreplaceable. It's funny, dude. I like I like thinking about old guitars and thinking about this guitar. We're talking 80 years.
Yeah.
And I've owned it 17, 18. Right, so less than 25% of its life.
Mm-hmm.
Who else played this guitar? And what other songs were written on this guitar?
That's a good point.
There's Neil Young has that song. I think it's called "This Old Guitar," where he talks, and I'm pretty sure he's talking about Hank Williams' guitar because he owns Hank Williams' acoustic guitar,
oh, wow, yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah.
And he talks about how it's not his. He's just its protector, its guardian, its keeper, until it goes to the next person.
Sure.
So I think that's kind of how I treat it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
when I play this in the house, the dog isn't allowed in the room, the Galen's not allowed in the room.
Yeah. Sure, man.
Social distance.
Yeah.
I've been social distancing for 18 years with this guitar. So yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to personally like the feel of used guitars a lot more than new guitars when it comes down to it. And then, like you said, you can think about and get lost in the idea of where the thing's been, who's touched it, what songs came out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I think we all have that feeling of you pick up a certain guitar, it feels a certain way, and it'll hand you different things that you hadn't even thought about before.
Yeah, totally. It's they have a soul, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure none of the damage done to it, aside from like maybe this little wear here, I don't think I've contributed to at all. So what has it seen? You know, what again? Like who's played it? Or were they bricklayers? Were they affluent people? Or what were they writing? Were they doing a rag on it? Were they playing blues? What? There's a million questions, and the other thing, and I forgot to say it earlier, was I like to smell the inside of old guitars.
Yeah.
Because of the wood, right?
Yeah.
It's aged.
Yes.
And they were using much higher quality wood than they are now. If you smell the inside of this guitar, which I'll make you do awkwardly after the episode, it's like stepping into an old church. They have a soul like this. It's no different than anything else. We were talking about classic, bikes and stuff. They become something else after a while.
For sure.
So, yeah, that's my old guitar.
Mm-hmm.
My other guitar is 74, so this is the old one.
Yeah, that's intense. So, we're gonna play Freebird.
Yeah.
How, as far as, it's been a quarantine year, things have been pretty crazy. 2020 has been, it's been a long year, but I know you're still writing songs, so you seem to not have been hampered creatively in a manner.
As long as there's whiskey and I can sit alone with an acoustic, I'll be okay. Yeah, the pandemic's been rough. It hasn't been as tough on me because I still have to go to work every day. So I get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's harder on my wife than it is on me. And then I see you guys.
Yeah.
The guys in my band are pretty much my closest allies for the most part. So it's like, if I'm seeing you guys, I can get a burger.
Yeah.
Like,
a burger and a beer. And
yeah, I'll make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm okay. Still writing. I haven't, I go in spurts. I write in spurts.
Yeah.
When I have time off. But, better than anyone else, we've got a release in the can, and we've got 2 EPs and a full length.
Yeah.
On deck. So, we'll get through somehow.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think of a good this band versus this band to end the episode with. So, so in my mind, I actually just rewatched Echo in the Canyon recently. So, obviously.
Can I tell you my favorite part of Echo in the Canyon?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
So, Echo in the Canyon's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I remember Beck was part of it.
Yeah.
And I remember Jacob Dylan, obviously.
Yeah.
And I want to say Regina Spektor.
I think that's correct. Yeah.
And I really dig Regina Spektor. The whole time I was watching Echo in the Canyon, I just kept thinking, where's Neil? There's no Neil.
Yeah.
I want to see Neil. I want to hear from Neil.
Yeah.
The best part is the credits.
Yeah.
When there's Neil,
Yeah.
with old Black.
Yeah.
And I assume his old Fender and the Wizard and whatever, and he's just wailing in a studio.
Oh yeah.
No words.
Hardly even facing the camera. He's it's like his back. He's wearing his leather jacket and his, just like.
It just says all it needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
Totally.
But, yeah, Laurel Canyon.
So I guess in the movie they talk about how the Byrds and the Beatles were influencing each other back and forth quite a bit. And then, they were all influenced by the Beach Boys and things like that. But I guess between the Byrds and the Beatles...
The Byrds and the Beatles?
Who would you pick?
Beatles and the Stones? Stones and the Beatles? I'm not a huge Beatles guy.
Yeah.
Everybody that in I think our musical friend group knows I'm not.
Yeah.
I like the Kinks.
Yeah.
And the Stones more than I like the Beatles.
For sure.
Versus the Byrds. Who am I more likely to listen to?
Yeah.
The Byrds.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Sure.
They've got at least 2 really great records.
Yeah.
The Beatles. I like the Beatles. What kind of holds me back with the Beatles is I listen to the records, and they kind of feel like they're all over the place.
Sure.
Like if you listen to Sgt. Pepper's, to me, and it's gonna sound stupid. It doesn't sound like one voice because it's not, right?
Yeah.
It's three voices.
Yeah.
But
it's not like it doesn't have a overall musical, like, I guess, theme and feel.
Direction, feel, like
yeah.
they didn't sound like they were blending well
Yeah.
at all
Sure.
to me. It was just, I almost wonder, especially when you listen to George Harrison's, is it This Too Will Pass or All Things Must Pass? Phenomenal album, and it really makes me wonder, you know, were those three hindered by being in the Beatles?
Sure.
Like, did we miss out on great music because those guys felt like they had to throw away anything that wasn't the uppermost echelon or didn't fit on the record because they were part of the Beatles? I don't know. That's kind of how I feel.
Sure.
But yeah, I'd take the Byrds, and I think Ringo. People talk shit on Ringo. I think Ringo's incredibly underrated.
Sure. As
a drummer. He flips the feel.
Yeah, definitely.
You listen to Ticket to Ride, you know, I could name off a dozen others where the beat almost makes the song.
Totally.
You take a very normal poppy tune for the time, and this dude does something off kilter, and he's got such a cool feel. People talk a lot of shit on Ringo, and I think it's unjustified.
Yeah.
But I would take the Byrds.
Totally. Yeah. I think you kind of have to look at the time when it came out, and I mean, like the the British invasion and all that stuff like that. It's like I think a lot of people kind of got pigeonholed into like a pop, like this thing is so popular all of a sudden that like and I think they probably got stuck on what was successful and selling and things like that too. So there's
but I mean, by the time you get to Revolver and Sgt. Pepper's and blah 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 blah, like they were changing.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're as cool as other bands.
Sure.
Like so you're the British thing, right? There's the big four, I think. It's the Who, the Stones, the Beatles, and the Kinks.
Yeah.
And the Who, some days I love, some days I could take or leave.
Sure.
The Stones obviously are the bluesiest, I would think, out of a plethora of material, though some of it not so great.
Yeah.
They were sort of quantity over quality. And then, to me, man, it's the Kinks, dude. They were just a little... I mean... Shangri-La by the Kinks, it's probably in my top 5 to 10 songs ever written.
That's awesome, man. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing song. I don't think anything the Beatles did touches that song, Shangri-La, by the Kinks. If you haven't heard it, please go check it out. The Kinks were more rock and roll. They were more punk rock.
Totally, yeah.
They were, in my mind, more experimental.
Yeah.
They were more British than the Beatles. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who am I listening to? The Byrds.
Sweetheart of the Rodeo.
Yeah, and I can't remember, what's the record after that called? That's underrated.
I do not recall.
I want to say, I can't remember what it's called, but I want to say it's like This Name versus, like almost like a Lola versus Power Man style title.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but the Byrds are rad.
Alright.